The top two questions we're getting from sellers these days is, number one, how much is my house worth? Number two, what should I pay a buyer's agent? That is coming with all the news about the Department of Justice and buyer's agents commissions. It's a big deal right now. Well, many of the MLSs, including Las Vegas, has allowed agents to block certain listings on searches when their buyers were receiving searches from the MLS. For example, if a seller offered a certain amount of commission that's not what the buyer's agent wanted, that house would be blocked from that buyer. So when they do an MLS search, that wouldn't go to that buyer if the commission, the buyer's agent commission, wasn't a certain amount. That's a feature in the Las Vegas MLS, and it's been that way for a while. And as many sellers know, on listing appointments, they'll have, in fact, I just had a listing agreement that a seller gave that the listing agent actually said, if you don't pay this much amount, this is, your house isn't going to get shown. And they actually, part of the listing agreement was a letter from the owner of the company that says if you don't pay this much, your house won't get shown as much. And then there was another broker of a big franchise that said if, posted this on Facebook, if you don't pay this amount, that it'll be boycotted. So what is that amount, and how do we know? Well, in the old days, agents would look, see that commission and say, I don't like it, toss it. Today, it's all digital, so everything is tracked by digital. And what I've been able to do the last 5 years is have these reports. And I think I'm the only realtor in the country that has this report, has this data that's helped sellers get more money for their house. Here's an example of that. So what I was able to do last 5 years of this data that we have that has helped us get more money for our sellers. In fact, one of the ways we do it is you have a house. I am able to adjust the commission, and then I pull a report. I request a report, and that report tells me the difference of what this commission is and what that commission is. So when I make an adjustment, I'll get this report, and I request a report, and the report would tell me. So for example, on this particular house, when I made a small adjustment on the commission, the buyers that received this went up 1,400% because it was unblocked. And it gives me the agent, the company, and the phone number. And then on this particular house, it went up 1,200%. So this tells me what part of town, what the commission needs to be for the seller to get the most amount of money. For example, this part of town right here has a certain percentage, okay, that gets the sellers the most amount of money. The highest value, lowest cost. That puts more money in the seller's pocket. This report tells me. This 5 years of data tells me. Now, this part of town right here has a different amount for what you need to pay the buyer to get the most exposure and get the highest amount. Now, this is a lot of data. Sellers, this is one way that I'm able to get you the most money. In fact, I've shared this with many at Platinum's Inner Circle, and this has allowed them to get more money for their clients with the least amount of cost. This is one reason why there were 7 agents from Platinum in the top 100 during this COVID crisis. One of the reasons why is because we get these reports. So sellers, if you're interested in finding out what this report shows on what you need to get for the most money in your pocket, highest amount, lowest cost. Nobody else has this report to my knowledge. No other realtor in the country, let alone Las Vegas, has this report. And I shared this information with a few people, realtors, that are able to get them the highest amount for their clients also. So if you're an agent and you want this data, contact me. If you're a seller and you want to get the most for your house, proven, nobody else offers this. Contact me today and I will show you the data that we've collected over the last 5 years on what you need to pay a buyer's agent in order to get the most exposure, highest amount, and lowest cost. You can't argue the data. And there's very few companies that can produce this for you to get the most money. Talk to you soon.